Yes, people. Hope everyone is good and had a blessed weekend. Happy Monday and all of that. Let me introduce the man one by one. What are you telling me, Jado?
Yeah, man, good man, good. Happy to be here, back again. I think I missed out a week or two. Can't remember. Don't think I was saying the last show, but yeah, man. Hope you boys are good in that, and yeah, ready for this episode today, man.
Yeah, man. No, all good over here. All good over here. Rash, what are you telling me, my guy?
Alhamdulillah, bruv. Happy to be here. All praise to Allah. We got another show out on the go. It was busy weekend. Mad results this weekend. So
Mm.
there's a lot to discuss based on a lot that came through this weekend. But yeah, man, just okay. Just cruising through to the end of the week, right at the beginning of the week. You know how we roll.
Hey, and last but not least, always my guy Jeff. What are you saying, man?
All good, man. Interesting weekend of football. Let's review it, man. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, man, no, 100%, man. Obviously, people smash the likes, subscribe to RBT, getting closer every day to 400 subscribers. I think we're almost on 380 now, which is amazing. So, like I always say, get RBT's name out there, share everything. We'll definitely be bringing some more content as well soon from the studio, hopefully for the World Cup. That can become a regularity as well with the World Cup so close. So, yeah, man, no, big up everyone in the building as always and smash the likes. Big up Ed in the building already saying, yes, lads. Jesus showing his true colors. Yeah, that's going to be a discussion for later. But let's start off with the shock result of the weekend. Probably, if we're being honest, the season, even though Liverpool ain't been on it. Nottingham Forest beating them 1-0. Forest were bottom of the table, obviously. Looking like, if we're being realistic, a couple of weeks ago, everyone was talking about their manager getting sacked. You randomly got a new deal in the middle of that. And yeah, they got a 1-0 win. I think it's the ex-player, one of Liverpool's ex-players from the academy, Awonyi, who got the winning goal as well, which again is just another little bit of karma to it. But yeah, shocking result for Liverpool. Shocking result after coming back off the back-to-back 1-0 wins against City and West Ham. Boy, I mean, Jalil, what are you telling me, man, about Liverpool? Like, what is going on, bro? Because this is now, we're like 12 games in or something, like almost a third of the season. We can't just say this is bad form now, especially with the way they're playing. So what's going on, man? Like, call people out. What's happening, bro? What's happening?
I think. Do you know what I think? I think it is. Yeah, all of them been that bad. Yeah, Liverpool for the past 3-4 years have been active, doing well, and all this jazz and that. But you got to start somewhere, innit? And you got to blame the fans. I personally think it's the fans, not the players. Because
okay,
okay, here we go.
Okay.
Because you got to have it right. You got to have it right. And I'm not here to fuck about today in terms of this. Virgil van Dijk, the best ever to touch the Prem. Do me a favour. Fuck you, no, son. Like Salah, the best ever. I mean, like Salah, I give credit to, man. Numbers don't lie, so Salah can hold that. But this season's been poor, and I'll start on Salah. We'll start on Salah because I think the thing we need to talk about here is when you get a contract, it warranted. If you look last year, and when he's fighting for his contract, and obviously Mane was also fighting for the same contract. They didn't want to give it to them both. Only one of them couldn't get it. But when you look at everything in terms of football and everything, and all the leagues, it warranted it. Nobody here could say Salah didn't deserve that. Salah didn't deserve that. Salah deserves a contract. But it also comes. What did Uncle Ben say? With great power comes great responsibility. So what? We could have all the power but no responsibility. Do you know what it's like? It's like. Do you know what? Sorry about this. Well, it's got to be analogy time. It's like having a child, yeah. Obviously, you break up your missus and that, right? It's like having all the responsibility but no authority over the kid. That's what it's with Salah's career. So what? You can take all this money, but you're not going to perform. All right, say nothing, my guy. Say nothing. Say nothing. I mean, I don't want to light him up, but I'm not even aiming at him because I like Salah. Numbers talking, he's still going to hit numbers this season. We know by the end of the season, but the fans are...
Well, you're lighting him up right now still, I can't lie.
You compared it to a child.
Hey, who's next? Who's next? Who should I light up? I can't want to get onto Trent because he ain't been playing.
I can't lie. Fabinho is escaping right now, bro. That guy's been arse.
He's been playing.
He's been
You got
playing.
me, bro.
Not every game, but he's been playing.
I think the positive Liverpool can take out of this year is Thiago looks apart, man. He just can't touch him. I don't know if I don't think he played the other day, but he played. I remember he played the game. I think he played against us. He played against
West Ham.
West Ham. He can ball out. He can ball out and that. Like, I think that's a positive. They still have that attractive football coming from him. But when he doesn't play, when you have a midfield without him, yeah, it's long, bro. You don't get nothing. And Joe's coming back to the team as well. I heard so much stuff about this guy as well, about the next fucking... What did my man say? Generational. Chill, man. Chill. How old is he? 18, 19?
He's 21, bro.
But he could be 31. He ain't got nowhere, my guy. He ain't got nowhere. He pants as well. But actually, there was one kid. So I'm lining up the players right now. But it's just the Liverpool fans just wind me up, man. Harvey Elliott looks the part, though. He looks the part. Something's going to come good with him. I'll tell you that for free. Can we talk about Virgil van Dijk and that, bro? Like, who defended him? Oh, man. They tried to compare him to my guy Rio and, you know, all these greats who've hit the Premier. I thought it was kind of disrespectful, obviously, coming off the back of just about winning the Champions League, and then they won it. But I think, and the Prem as well, and he's the best centre-back, but I don't know what makes him the best. He's amazing, he's great, don't get me wrong, he's great, but come on, man, you can't be comparing them to guys that's won title after title after title. And when you're backing up against, when someone comes to you and you're not going for the tackle, you're backing up, and then just look at that goal that my Nigerian brother scored on the weekend. Look at the goal. He was nowhere to be seen. So I could be the best defender. You're not even controlling your line, and he's always backing up, bruv. Man, if I keep going, but I'm going to get arrested for this criminal activity. So I'm going to chill out for a bit and pass it on to my brother here. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about the players because, like, I do think it's a bit wild, man, because I have all the respect for Liverpool, and they were always like, kind of like, you know how people have their second team and that, do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not going, like, Liverpool was that team, but with the fans and that, bruv, like, the group chats have been lit up this week. I don't know about you, but every chat, like, I don't even have to attack the Liverpool fans. I've got everyone else doing it for me, kind of thing. It does need to calm down a bit, I think, and I think, they should take reality, man. They're a good team and that, but they can't be the best team, bruv, when it's stuff like this is happening, bruv. Yeah, I think they're having a poor start to the season than we did last season, kind of thing. I'm not too sure about that.
Probably about the same, to be honest.
Probably about the same, and we started off bad, man. But we did come back. But Klopp needs to start some up. And the funny thing is, the other day I saw my first Klopp out from my Liverpool fan in the group chat. So that was a bit crazy. And when I threw out names there, they're like, "Oh, he's not as good as Klopp. He's not as good as Klopp." So what the fuck do you want him out? So I'll pass on. That's enough for me, man. I don't say.
I mean, to be fair, that's true. I mean, anyone calling for Klopp out, I think, is realistically who you're going to get that's better than Klopp. I think most people here would say he's the second best manager in the world.
Right now, yeah.
We were having that convo the other day in the chat, and our guy Mus was even saying that for this type of team, Klopp is even better suited than Pep. So they can't really even get better right now. I don't think about Klopp, but I think Jalil made a lot of points there. Obviously, spoke about Van Dijk a bit. Can't be the best defender. I mean, some Liverpool fans were saying ever, not even Prem, ever. Yeah, we got
ever.
Ever. That was being
said.
Yeah,
I think wasn't that Lamps.
It wasn't just Lamps. Like, we can't just say it was just Lamps. It was just Lamps. People. Like, I'm sure Maldini even said it as well. Maldini said he might be the best centre back ever. So, like, these were things that were being said, and obviously now they're not in as good form. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people that have been waiting for this to happen. But yeah, man, like, Rash, like, what is going on with Liverpool, man? Because, like, something, it can't just be like, no one's playing well right now. So what is it?
Yeah, first thing I wanted to comment on is the whole, if anyone is saying Klopp out, again, it's the same. I was having a conversation with a City fan the other day, and I was thinking, if you was to get rid of Pep, like, who would you want? There's no one else for you guys. You get me? And it's the same for Liverpool. You can't get rid of Klopp. Who would you get? Who else would you want? Who knows the culture? Who knows the club? Who has created a kind of an ideology at the club? Um, a stepping stone, a plateau to take off of. Like he did that. So who would you get? You can't get no one else in that place. And I think they just got to bear with it. Everyone has their highs and lows. Every manager has their time when they have a dip in form. Uh, there's a new rival that comes into the Premier League where that person takes their spot or takes a spot of their normal rival. It happens all the way. It's like every decade there's a new rivalry that comes up, a new challenger, you know. So I think it's just a normal thing, just taking its normal course, to be honest. Um, in regards to what is wrong with Liverpool, them boys are straight pretending to care. Yeah, they're on the pitch and they look like they care. If you look at their faces and yeah, and you know, like they look the part. They look like they're doing it. They're shouting at each other, "Yeah, do this, do this." But when you look at their performance, them man don't care.
I
There's a
don't.
lack of
How do you think?
yeah. There's a lack of so I don't know if so. I've always been a person that says, you know what, I think Klopp is too confident and reliant on his squad too much, and they know it. For instance, this whenever there's a transfer window, no one's shook of their position. No one's scared. Everyone thinks their position is cemented, so they've reached a kind of thing where they believe they've peaked before they have. They're not
Mm,
trying as hard. Maybe it starts off in the training sessions. Maybe their training sessions aren't as intense as they normally should be. Maybe they're not taking it as seriously as they normally would. Maybe they are not scoring the chances that they're creating in training and having a laugh about it rather than saying, "Oh, that's another drill that we've just messed up. Let's go and go
mm,
again. Let's go again."
poor
Maybe they
things.
had a different type of fight when they were fighting for something. It's easy when you're hungry to put on the best display of yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? Because you're hungry. Yeah, Liverpool were hungry. They went like, let's just call it 100 years. Now that would be Spurs. Right? Let's call it about 25 years without winning any form of trophies or Premier League, shall we say? They didn't win the Prem.
Yeah,
Okay. They had that on their neck and on their shoulders for a long time. That was all anyone needs to say to Liverpool fans. Have you won the Prem? That would be it. Just shut up. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So they busted their guts out to try and do that. They had something to fight for. They had never won the Prem. Yeah. They hadn't won the Champions League in a long time. Then they win the Champions League. And then I think they win the Prem and then they win the Champions League again, right? Was it in that order? Hmm.
they Champions League final.
Yeah. And then the
One
Prem afterwards. No, hold on.
Champions League final lost. One Champions League, one Prem, and then nothing, and then
Yeah.
Champions League final loss again.
So I think a lot of them have just basically thought that they had hit the peak that they could. They were doing good. They were the team to beat. A lot of the players were being ascribed as players of best players going around right now. Henderson, yeah, world class conversations. You know, I'm trying to say like everyone was having. You know, they picked them up. I think they thought they were there before they were actually there, and right now they've just become a bit complacent. But what's happened is that this Premier League, this season in particular, there is no rubbish club in the Premier League. There's no, it's too unpredictable. You've got the bottom of the league of Forest beating Liverpool. Yeah, you've got Arsenal at the top of the league. You got Spurs and Cities and Chelsea's dropping points in places where they wouldn't. United had a terrible start. You got teams that never did so good are doing right now. You know, there's about
Newcastle.
3 points in between. I believe probably 13th position and eighth. Like 3 points in between those guys. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's just very tight.
Yeah,
You can't take anything for granted. You can't say this is an easy game or this is anymore. Do you know what I mean? Everyone is going for it and they want to make a name off of you. Liverpool are too comfortable and they're not putting in the effort. They're pretending to care, but they don't care out on that pitch. There's no hunger. I can't see it in none of their eyes. There's no hunger. Van Dijk looks like he's just at it's Sunday. Man said, "Yo, do you want to come to the park and play?" And he's like, "Yeah, all right, cool." And he's playing. We know he's good, but he doesn't care what's happening. Like, oh, you got past me. Oh, you got past me again. Okay, cool, no problem. Start from the
Mm.
goalkeeper. This ain't training. Do you know what I mean? And this is the problem. I think the mentality in everyone in the squad, apart from the youngers, like Harvey Elliott, always looks like he's trying very hard. Always looks like he's trying hard. Diaz looks like he's always trying very hard. Nunes is from a different planet. I don't know what he does and what goes on in his head. Firmino, he's had a great start. I think he's probably one of their best players this season so far. But that goes to show if Firmino is your best player when you're a squad full of talented world class players, man. That's saying a lot, you know. I'm trying to say like we rate Firmino, but we don't rate him like that. He's your
Not
best player.
anymore. Like he's gone. He's
Yeah.
old. Isn't he? Yeah.
But even when he had that good season and a half, I rated him, but still didn't rate him like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But he's your best player right now. That's saying a lot about your squad, you know. And yeah, I think Liverpool are just if they don't get on a quick winning streak, they can probably kiss top four goodbye, you know.
And that is mad. That's mad to say. And you know what? The players that you listed out that like are showing you that fight, at least from the outside. You said Harvey Elliott, are really relatively unproven youngster. Diaz, still new to the team. Nunes, new to the team. Firmino was left out of the team and had to prove he had to. And everyone who's been like a certified starter
Have something to prove.
has that. Yeah, exactly. But all the man that didn't have that don't have anything to prove, the performances are just not there. And it's not just Van Dijk. It's obviously Trent's well documented how badly he's been playing. And I do wonder, Jeff, it does make me wonder, like, obviously, the point around complacency being a killer, I think there is an element of that's happened. There's no competition for places for some man. They know they will play no matter what. Look how badly Trent had to play to be dropped. You know what I mean? And that you can't even compare it to Arsenal, but like, Tierney's now somehow almost become our third choice left back. Somehow. And it's not like he's even played bad this season, but he's somehow a third choice left back at the moment. And that competition for places doesn't seem to be the same at Liverpool. So do you think that's part of the reason you think maybe some men have peaked? Like they've passed their best. They're not going to go back to that level. So yeah, like what do you bring it down to?
That's the major thing, I think, the peaking. So wouldn't say Trent's peaked because he's still young. Van Dijk might have peaked, but even if he has peaked, he's still one of the best in the world. So it doesn't really matter too much, I would say. But Eliza Henderson, like for that system, especially when Wijnaldum left, like he was like the legs in the midfield, and he's 32. So
I'm so happy that Wijnaldum one is now starting to get highlighted because he was
because
at the time when he left.
Yeah, because he's looked like people, a lot of Liverpool fans or a lot of players don't realize how good Wijnaldum was. Like he covered up a lot of cracks well to me. Like any deficiency Henderson has, he was good at covering that up. So letting him go, obviously, you don't think you deserve 300k a week. I understand it, but you probably should have worked something out or replaced, because the Henderson one, you mentioned it a few times last year. Like he tried to be like the go-to guy, especially when like Thiago wasn't playing. You think you can now play these Hollywood 30-yard passes? You can do that in form. Like it can work 2 times out of 10. Like we saw, like the pass for Salah at United, the outside
pass,
crazy. But when you play football, sometimes a purple patch is a purple patch. Like so that's outside of your ability. Yeah. So
Henderson almost won the player of the year off a purple patch.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and don't get me wrong, like your performances were good then, but it doesn't mean that you're at that level consistently. Like playing well for a year or two doesn't mean you're now one of the best. It just doesn't. That's not what it means. Like, it means you're playing well for the moment. So like when you don't have legs and then you have these young replacements, like even Fabio Carvalho is a good young player, but he shouldn't be having to play that much for one. Then you got Harvey Elliott you're dependent on. You got James Milner, he's 36. James Milner's been in the league since 2002, bro.
Yeah. Shit.
And he's still called on the most, like anywhere, like right back, left back, centre mid. And he's still considered like one of the fittest in the league, but that's not the point. Like he's 36.
That fitness ain't the same. Don't work the same in the actual game.
Yeah, like running is different to dynamic movements. You're 36 years of age. You should not be playing that much. So,
but shout out to him though, man, because he's
salute.
Shout out Milner, man. Big up Milner.
That's one of them man who gets slept on. That's a complete professional,
top professional.
Yep, and he can play regardless of what people think. Like he's 36 now, so it's different. But
I think if we was having a conversation on Premier League's best all-time best players, accolade wise, he would be in the conversation more than a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? And he's achieved a lot over his seasons with a few clubs. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
I think when we did the underrated 11, I think he's someone I missed out.
Probably, yeah.
He definitely is one of them.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd say it's that even you got like the likes of like Curtis Jones. No disrespect to Curtis Jones, but that's not his level. He's not a Liverpool player.
Nah,
like, he's cool. Like he's a cool player. He can probably play in the league, but you can't play at Liverpool, and you shouldn't be called on that much. Like
he'll be sick if Blackburn get promoted and go and play for Blackburn. They're doing quite well. I reckon he'll be good there still.
To be fair, I would even mind Blackburn coming back, to be honest. But yeah, that's the type of team, lower end of the Premier League, where he could do something. You know, he's the type of man that he can have a wild performance once every 10 games, and everyone's like, raw, can he play at a higher level? And the answer is always no.
Yeah, like put it this way, like I'll read out the Liverpool bench for you on Saturday.
Jesus.
Kelleher,
Adrian.
Okay. That's two goalies. So we've named Kelleher.
I'll say who?
Kelleher's like their third choice goalie, and Adrian who's their second choice goalie. Those
Kelleher's actually their first choice. Kelleher's the second choice.
He's overtaken Adrian now, yeah.
Yeah, he overtook him last year. Who have we seen who's got two goalies on one first team bench? Yeah, that's not normal.
Yeah, that's a joke. So it's like they're just trying to fill in the gaps now.
Just trying to make up the numbers.
Then there's Tsimikas, Trent, Nat Phillips, Bajetic. I think that's how you say his name. Bobby Clark. I'm not well versed in Liverpool. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. He might be a young boy. Salute to him for making the bench, my boy. I don't know you. Oxlade and Jordan Henderson. All right. Wow. How many of those players, like maybe 3 years ago, that's an okay bench, maybe.
But, I'm not even sure it is 4 years ago, bro. Who's better to change the game from an attacking standpoint?
It does my next question. Like you got Ox who plays like he plays like a testimonial each year because he's injured. Like Ox has been injury prone since Arsenal. Like
yeah, for real.
He's now going into like his 6th season at Liverpool.
6.
He joined in like 2016.
That is so crazy, bro. That is so crazy. We've probably seen him 20 times.
Oh,
I brought it 2018, like the year where they got to the Champions League final, he did well. That's the last time I remember him doing well.
Yeah, that's the last time I remember him playing.
Since then, he's been injured. He's been injured every year.
Twice since then.
Man, that's what it feels like.
Yeah,
but Ox was always inconsistent anyway.
Yeah, and then
that's the thing, even without the injuries, always inconsistent.
And now this is some of the guys you're calling on. So, like, don't get me wrong. You could say Klopp maybe made a mistake when spending 85 mil on Nunes. It still remains to be seen. We'll see how that goes. But there should have been more money to spend on that midfield because it can't be like Henderson's 32 approaching 33. He can't do the same job he did 2-3 years ago. His body isn't like that no more. You ain't got the protection of Ronaldo. Even Fabinho, like we mentioned it, he's badly out of form. He might be done as well, you know. He looks like his legs are gone. It's mad because he's 29. Like his legs shouldn't be gone. He's not old.
He ain't old.
I think
29. I was still playing football with these men.
But yeah, like that's mad to me. Like he's badly out of form. Andy Robertson's even out. Like he's badly out of form, and that's my guy. I like Andy Robertson, but to call a spade. Like you're in 1 minute, you're out the next. Like you can't at the moment. He can't start 3 games in a row. Like Tsimikas actually looks better suited just for the moment until he gets his form back.
Yeah,
so,
definitely. Yeah,
and that's the best. That's maybe the best position they got depth in, left back, because Tsimikas is actually a decent replacement. Like the midfields, you see, like when they drop someone and bring someone else in, there's like a big gulf in class. Like if you see Thiago was ill or something, isn't it?
ear infection.
Yeah, so he had an ear infection, and now you bring in Curtis Jones.
Yeah,
you got Thiago, sorry, and then you got Curtis Jones.
Yeah, literally.
Like, it's like a 9, and then you got like a 4.
Yeah, that's too big of a drop off.
Yeah, man.
Especially out of form. So, yeah, man, I don't know what Liverpool kind of really go from here. Like, I know they got Ajax. I don't know if it's tomorrow or Wednesday, and then I'm not sure who the next league game is. I can probably check now quickly. Who's the next league game?
While you're checking that though, how did Forest win? How did they do it? What was it that made them win, John?
I'll probably say I thought they had a good shape. So they were very solid. They dropped deep, reduced the spacing behind, which is where Liverpool thrive. Obviously,
what did they have, a back 5? Or did they just have a crowded midfield?
They had a crowded midfield from what I remember. They actually didn't have a back 5, which I was surprised
about.
about.
4-3-3, didn't they?
Yeah, kind of a 4-3-3, but they actually look pretty dangerous on the break as well. Sometimes their final ball wasn't great, but they fought very hard, and obviously when you beat a team like Liverpool, there has to be some luck. So a couple of times the ball could have dropped different places. Maybe Liverpool get a tap in and then the game's different. But I think overall they played well, man. Big up to them, because I still think they're going down. But at least they've had their hallmark moment in the Prem and their return.
But is it kind of like what you deserve, isn't it? Like, what did they make? 23, 24 changes. There's only one player who made it through their promotion who's still in the squad, right?
That never works.
Like that.
That never works.
Yeah.
That's always a horrible recipe.
It's craziness.
You can do that 23 players down, but you can't do that in the Prem. You ain't got the time. You ain't got the time.
In 1 year.
In one window.
From May to August, you change your whole team. And
twice.
You know what's
they
bad?
Got 2 teams. 2 teams that are brand new.
Even my man, what's the Atletico Madrid guy? He looks terrible.
He's a bench man. How is Noddy go from Atletico to Nottingham Forest bench player?
Sometimes that just shows you that these systems really help players, man.
Yeah,
Lodi Simeone looked good.
Yep. Now when he's actually asked to be more individual, he's looking arse.
Nico Williams is ahead of you at left back. Nico Williams plays right back, to my understanding.
And he's not even a great right back.
It's just madness.
Which is madness. Ed saying, to be fair, I'm hearing Arsenal fans saying Saliba's the best centre back ever.
Ed just made that up. Ed just made that up on the spot.
Better than Saliba, let's be real. We need to give Saliba time. Obviously we need to give Saliba time for sure. Yeah, big up our guy DJ in the building saying draw, but we move 11 down, 28 to go. Come on, you Gunners. 28 to go, 100%. Big up Ted at D. Big up my guy saying big up because Taney is poor player, to be fair.
Should we address this?
He hates Taney though. He hates Taney. He hates him. We can talk about Taney when we go on to
yeah. Let's do it when we talk about Arsenal. But make sure we cover that, because I don't think it's as sinister as people are making out.
Yeah. And but people smash the likes. 9 people in the building, smash the likes. But yeah, let's get on to the next game before Arsenal. Spurs losing at home to Newcastle. I don't know. I'm sure. I can't wait to hear what Jalil's thoughts are on the first goal and what Lloris was doing.
It was obvious what he was doing. He was having a drink.
Couple babies.
he was talking to the bartender. So we get that one of those.
But you know what? The funny thing is, you could only be drunk to think that you're going to go for a 50-50 outside your box and think it's a foul. That's the only way you can get away with it. If he's had a sip of alcohol, it's the only way I'm giving him a pass. Other than that, he's a total idiot. Who does that? You're outside your box, 50-50. What should I move back the way for you? So
it's like he wanted him to say, "Yeah, go through."
Come on, get out of here with that shit, man. I mean, let's be real though. Let's have it right. Luis made some fucking good saves though, because I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen Newcastle play that good in a while. I'm one fella. cure. Yeah, I remember when he initially got signed, and then we were all looking at him like, who's this guy? Like, where do you come from? MLS? Where do you come from? MLS?
MLS, yeah.
MLS, yeah.
What you think you're gonna ball out in the Prem? Like, who do you think you are? Well, he didn't have a good first season, but I'll say this: towards the end of, I believe last season, I think he got injured, but this season, active. His goals are nice to see, bro. Like he bangs them from corners and stuff. He takes them on. Yeah, man, he's in proper good form, man. You can't knock him. Wilson done well as well. You can't knock him. Apparently, I heard that he wants to try and get an England spot in the World Cup and that.
I don't think he'll get it. I think he'll just miss out. I've got a feeling Calvert-Lewin might even get over Tony.
Yeah. Yeah, but he was in there before he got. No, but to be fair,
if that happens, that's ridiculous, though.
I know Tony's better, but I know, man. Southgate just likes his favorites, and he
hasn't even really been playing. He just came back the other day.
He just came back. I know. I just have a feeling, man. But yeah, no, it's good you spoke on Almiron because obviously everyone knows, what Grealish said about him last year, end of last season.
What did he say? He was
trolling him. He was trolling Bernardo Silva at the trophy parade, saying you were playing like Almiron. Yeah. So obviously big him up. That was a lovely goal he scored yesterday, and Newcastle played some good football. And it's funny because I'm seeing a lot of angry Spurs fans. A lot of angry Spurs fans right now because obviously the football is bad. The football is diabolical. If we're being honest, the football is horrible.
I wanna apologize as well because I feel like I need to apologize for putting Spurs to finish second in the Prem with that dead football. Like I didn't see it before. What's wrong with me?
Now look, Jalil.
Oh no, it's Rash frozen.
Oh man,
leave it out. Don't do that.
Hey, Rash, repeat what you said.
Is it me that's lagging? Am I back?
You're back. I
want to hear what you have to say.
So what I was gonna say is like, look, I'm not gonna lie.
You're lying. Is he frozen again at the same point?
No. He's playing. Look at him. He's playing.
Yeah,
I'm playing games.
You got us.
I feel like he's cursed or something right now. Still,
again.
He must be cursed or something.
Oh no!
Let me read out the comments why he comes back. That's madness. Still, big up Ray in the building. Hope you're blessed, my guy. Saying KT is a baller, just needs to stay injury free. He definitely does. Big up the gaffer in the stands. Hope you're blessed, my guy. Saying no lies told about Liverpool.
My guy.
I appreciate you saying that, man. It's good that at least there's some sensible Liverpool fans out there. You know what I'm saying? Because we've had a lot of things over the years. And then Ray saying Tony is better than Calvert-Lewin. 100% agree, but unfortunately that call's going to be on Southgate. But yeah, Rash, hopefully now you get a chance to say what you were going to say before, bro.
Yeah, say what you're going to say before I have to kill Spurs. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. So I was going to say, look, I'm not going to lie, Jalil, when you did put Tottenham to be contenders and to finish second, I had to stop the man from rushing you still. If they put you as over. So, but I told them, I said, look, Jalil likes to sometimes be nice, say the controversial thing, go against the grain. And I'm trying to say, allow him. You get me? So that's the reason why the man didn't ride out on you still. So you can
What's the matter? Coming through.
You know what? Man, do you know who's been on to me the most? Is Adam. Every week. I don't even see it.
Yeah, good.
It's on my neck. He's like, but he just doesn't understand why I said it. But can I at least? I'll tell you why I said it.
I mean, they are still third, so it's not like
it's madness.
They're 3 points behind City, so like
we know we know why you said it. It's just that a lot of times when you associate Tottenham with winning anything, we just like to know, okay, where's your receipts? Where are you basing this off of? Like, where is the history of this happening, so that we can say, okay, it happened back. Well, we don't have that. Do you know what I mean? So that's the only reason why. I see why you chose Spurs, but yeah.
When you go down to the manager himself, a proven winner, when you go down to the signings that I wanted for Arsenal, they've got good players and stuff. And Kane, you don't see him getting injured. I always say, injured Kane, they might drop points in that, but the guy's scoring even in a shit game like yesterday. Do you know what I'm saying? But I mean, all in all, I'm not gonna lie to you. I said this in the chat. I say it every weekend. I just keep kicking myself. They play the shittest football I've ever seen. I mean, the counter attack is sick. But bro, like pop someone do a skill like at the back, like gets to Kane fucking looks for whoever's running. Like the fuck, man. It's fucking boring, bro. And then you defend, you have every man behind the ball set for Son and Kane, and then fucking you defend, you get the ball, and then you just lose it again. It's boring, bro. It's that I don't understand. Who did they beat this season? I'm surprised. And one of the top boys. Who did they beat this season?
Nobody.
Have they beat any of the big six? Yeah, have they beat?
Nobody. Every time they play a big six sides, they've been played off the park.
They don't play football.
I tell you, who does entertain me though? Emerson Royale. That guy is great to watch, man. Especially if you're having a bad day. You watch that guy, man. He'll cheer you right up.
The whole team was poor,
he's
man.
Bad, you know.
He's really bad.
He's bad, man.
Stinks,
he's bad. But Conte keeps playing him.
My son asked me who is that guy, and he could point him out. My son, he's 5. He said, "Who is that one with the hair?"
You know what you can do? You should. If your son misbehaves or anything, or says he doesn't take education seriously, be like, "Listen, son, if you don't pass your degrees, you'll end up like that guy."
Yeah. If you don't drink all your milk, you end up playing like Emerson Royale. Emerson Royale, who is that? Exactly. Just remix the advert.
I can't even lie. I think this is disrespectful to Ori. Like, I know Ori is a hothead, but he's better.
Ori is better than Emerson Royale.
Emerson's better than Emerson Royale, bro. Emerson Royale is.
He hasn't got a thing. Like, I don't know what he does. Like,
he does nothing good. Like, the crazy thing about Spurs is that, like, their system is relying on wingbacks, but their wingbacks stink. Then I feel like Conte wants to try and play at the back, but he's got non-ball playing centre backs. Because he tried to bring in Longley at the weekend, but we can see why Longley hasn't been playing, and we can see why Barca were desperate to let him go because he sucks as well.
Oh my god, he's terrible.
He's bad. So he's
been terrible as well.
Yeah, he even at Barca he was bad. So, and that's the thing. Let's look back at Spurs' window. They got Longley, they got DJ Spence, who people bigged up because of one game against Arsenal. Let's be honest, that's the only reason people rated him. Because he was playing in the Championship. They go an old Perisic to play wing back,
who probably was their best player.
He's Richarlison, who's still a backup. Like, regardless of it, he's a backup, and they don't look as good when Kulusevski's not playing. And then who did they else? They got Basuma. I don't mind that. That one is still good. I'm happy with that. And then who was the other signing?
I'll be honest with you though, Basuma hasn't had an amazing.
No, he hasn't.
At all.
No, he's not been playing well at all. He's not been playing well at all. But that's the only signing I can look at now and give them some credit. Well, people were bigging up that window, saying it was arguable.
I still don't think it was a bad window. Like, it's maybe not second worthy. It's all right, but it's the only real bad one. Like, Richarlison's still a good backup to have. It's a little bit expensive. The bad signing out of everyone is Langley. Like, he's the bad one because he's bro. Like, he was at Barca, it didn't work. Didn't he go to Napoli or something on loan too?
Yeah, he was horrible.
Stunk up the place. Then Spurs stinking up the place again. Like, you should just let him go in January if it's a loan. Like,
literally.
It doesn't look like it's helping.
No, but we do have to comment on how shit Spurs are playing football, man. Their football is trash.
The football's dire. The football's dire, man. The football is dire. Like, I don't think anyone in Spurs has played well this season. I know Kane's got 10 and 11, so stats-wise he's doing well. But even when I watch him, he's not playing. Again, the team stinks. So Son is stinking out of the place as well.
Yeah, he's struggling bad.
Bad.
But you know what? Without Kulusevski, Spurs seem a little bit predictable, because like Kane and Son, like team stiffs set up to stop them, but Kulusevski's like the one where people don't really know how to deal with him yet because he's still 6, 7 months, 8 months.
And he's more technical as well.
And he's
more technical.
And he's great on the ball, good crosser. Like, especially for a Spurs team, they got a lot of like tall players and stuff. Like, he really, really is missed for them. And even yesterday, like, Romero didn't play, and you could see it because Wilson was having them up. Like Romero is one of those guys. Like no one's really gonna have him up. Like he's a troublesome defender. But when you got Davinson Sanchez, who is still a meme to this day. When Gundogan spun him inside out and he tried to block it with his head. You got Eric Dyer.
Didn't I see that boy eat grass one time?
That's what he did. That's that time, yeah.
Then you got Eric Dyer, who the surname speaks for itself, Dyer. And then you've got Clementine Langley. That's an orange, if I'm not mistaken.
Definitely one of the best.
Well, everybody's getting beat up today. I can't lie.
Yeah, when the full names comes out, Jeff is about to go on a massacre.
Trust me.
You know what I'm saying? But the key question is right now, who's in worse form, Son or shifted it to Sancho at Man United? So I don't know if you man saw the game against Chelsea on Saturday, but I actually feel sorry for Sancho.
I was literally going to say the same thing to you. I feel sorry for the guy, man. He don't want to run at nobody.
Nobody.
He should just get a new position. He should be holding midfielder. Man gets the ball, takes 2 steps forward, and goes, nah, I don't want none of that. And plays it back or plays it inside. You don't want none of it, bro.
He didn't play against Chelsea.
He did, bro.
You on about?
Well, even the commentator now, they were like, yeah, Sancho from Camberwell.
Yeah. My boy said that.
What?
You're not from Kennerton no more, but we can't rep that. But from Camberwell. I mean, they're very close. You know.
Why did he even specify it? You don't need to just say South London.
He got stripped of that. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. The South London up. No.
What's Camberwell got to do with his bad form? Don't bring Camberwell into this.
But I don't know how he ended up being from Kennerton to now Camberwell. I know they're very close to each other, but
they're very close to each other.
Very close.
It's like Fulton Heath and Sellers and South Norwood. You know what I mean? Like they're very close. But it was just funny the way that he pointed out that it's from Camberwell. No one's from Camberwell, man. Who the hell is from Camberwell? Do you know what I mean? Bagel King or something like that.
I'm from Camberwell. Bagel King's in Woolly Road, but I'm from Camberwell.
Yeah. I mean, boy, I don't know, but I don't.
Yeah. Yo, King's baby, are ya? King's baby.
Yeah. King's College Hospital.
Jeez.
Born and raised.
It's mad though. Like Sancho's right now is just. I feel for him, man. I don't know how he's gonna pull it back. I think he has to be dropped for a little while.
He sees some steak.
Well, I don't know what it is, man.
Because, bro, like even when it's a foot race, like he just kind of just gives up and lets the other guy win.
Doesn't look excited to be there.
Can I ask a question to you, boys?
Yeah.
See with Sancho, because let's have it right. Him and Haaland were killing it out at Dortmund. Do you think it should have been one thing where he comes into United and you build a team around him, or he should just adapt to how the manager wants him to play? He's still young, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Sancho's still young, but I don't think he's a player you build your team around.
Okay.
And we even spoke about this, that the reason he did so well at Dortmund is because of Hakimi.
Yeah, you said
and fullbacks who are willing to overlap. Like when you don't have a fullback that's willing to overlap well, like Dalot, I know Dalot is in good form. So I don't like Dalot. I don't like Luke Shaw. Like they're not good enough for him. Like for what he wants to do. Like he's a slow down kind of winger. He slows the game right down. Then he might like inject some little bit of pace into it. Like that ain't gonna work.
He's taking it to the extreme right now in terms of slowing the game down. It's ridiculous the way he's doing it.
You don't. That's my guy. But if you don't buck up his ideas, he'll get sold by the end of the season
for 40 mil.
Yeah, they'll just be like, let's just get some money back, like because this isn't working out.
Who did try to get him? I don't even know who trying to get him right now.
Dortmund.
Man.
Yeah, they'll get him back. They'll have him back.
Yeah. They use the Bellingham money in it.
He needs to go to Palace and have a good time with the man, then, bro.
Palace.
Yeah, he's all about vibes. I'm telling you, bro.
Palace is vibes FC, bro.
Vibes FC. Shout out to the man them down in SE25. My guys.
No, Palace still. But you know what? It's mad because a career can just drift just like that, where he could end up at Palace in a couple of years. If you let your career drift, like he could end up on a loan at Palace, and then you don't know where you go from there. Like careers.
It's not like they've got bad players at Palace now.
No, they don't. They don't.
Yeah.
The way he's playing right now,
it's a step too far, man.
Ooh.
Bro,
he's not ending up on no Palace, man.
No. Obviously, it's a step too far for Palace, but the way he's playing right now, he wouldn't even start for Palace.
Oh no, he needs to buck up his ideas, facts. Like he needs to, because it's not looking good. Like even when he was scoring, like the moment when he scores, like it'll be a little bit of moment of composure, but overall it's just a bit too safe. Like
very safe.
That's why I say he needs to eat us. Like you don't even want a foot race. Like I know you're not the fastest, but put yourself about a bit, even if you're not playing well. Like even like Rashford hasn't. I don't even think he's been playing that well this season. Like, but at least he's willing to put himself about a bit.
He's a threat.
But he's trying.
Yeah, that's what makes you like even Nunes. Like he laughed at for his comical moments, but at least like he gave us Saliba one of the toughest games like when we played them because he's just willing to run. Like if you're not willing to run, you're an easy target. You're just standing out there, trying to do cute skills and trying to be like what's that thing that they say like when girls like you on like those Instagram captions.
Oh, I don't know what.
No,
Man Crush Monday.
Monday or something like that.
Oh, something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you doing? Like you're just trying to look cute for girls.
Oh, them ones.
That's what you're doing because you're coming off the pitch. You probably wore Tom Ford to get on the pitch. That's what it's looking like because you're not sweating. There's nothing happening. You could probably go Raven off though. Like 52 minutes, you came off for Fred. You think he didn't go Raven off though?
Hey, only he knows, man. But yeah, it's peak. But you know what? I can't lie. As bad as he was, I actually thought United were a little bit better than Chelsea. I wasn't impressed with Chelsea at all.
I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with Chelsea. I wasn't impressed with that performance as well. They lose the ball too much. They're just not careful with it. They let Man United at times look too dominant when in reality that wasn't the case. I mean, it was a good game because they got points out of it. And to be honest, I thought they was going to win. I thought Potter was going to be able to have Hulk's number. Do you know what I mean? But he didn't. They got a point. And do you know what? Getting a point against your rival, it's okay. Do you know what I mean? So I think they both did all right in regards to not losing and picking up something at each other. Because even that, it's hard to win at Chelsea. It's hard to win at United. You know what I mean? So for them both, I think the draw was probably the best result for both of them, to be honest. But yeah, Chelsea haven't been impressing me lately. That's a lie. The last few weeks they've been impressing me because they've been quietly just going on about their business. Yeah, and Potter's just been, hey, I've come in, let me feel around, and he's been doing well while he's feeling around. So they have impressed me. I just didn't like that performance. I thought they were just very wasteful with the ball, not very productive in regards to ideas in how to attack Manchester United. I found the game kind of boring, to be honest. It wasn't very exciting. Yeah. It was a like I can't remember a lot of highlights of that game, the memorable moments at all. So I think Chelsea had a poor performance as well. But yeah, that game was dead food. It's dead food.
Yeah, I just think Chelsea needs some new attackers. It's just not clicking up there.
Do you guys think that was a pen on McTominay on Boya, whatever his name is? The pen?
Soft, but it's just stupid from McTominay.
Okay.
It's soft, but
I thought it was light personally.
It's not.
But you've seen them give him, like I wasn't too mad at it. I'm just like, why do you need to hold him?
I mean, we're probably going to talk about it, but it happened to Jesus twice, and he didn't get a pen. And that was exactly the same thing. If anything, it was more tougher because he had home going for longer. That came from a corner. But,
I thought this one was a pen, personally.
I mean, I don't think it was a pen because it was too light. But when you see that a day before, and then you see our game, you're like, yes, we've got a pen. That's got VAR. That's what I was seeing, and then it didn't even get there. So,
but that's the thing. I think right now, because obviously they've lightened the rules this season in terms of they're trying to encourage more of the old school physicality back. You can tell refs ain't got a clue. There's no consistency because some of them are just letting things go. That's like, right, okay, yeah, we're not going that far back. Like that's a foul.
Yeah,
because they're cowering. That's why. Like they're waiting for VAR to make their decision. Like they don't know they made the wrong decision until VAR say, yeah, correct that.
but the worst is that the VAR won't get involved unless it's a violent conduct kind of thing as well. So a lot of free kicks are just going missing. You know what I mean? Just normal free kicks, nothing done. Yeah, some of them are even they're saying play on, and I'm just like, what? Didn't you just see that? That was like abuse. How can you just play on just like that? But I think they don't know. The referees have lost the skill of refereeing. There's only a couple good refs now. Do you know what I mean? It's poor and hiding behind the guys of VAR as well. It's just referees with computers. Do you know what I mean? It's them making the same mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, VAR's bad. Refs are bad right now, and I know that managers can't really say it, so I think we should say it, man. It's really poor.
Yeah.
Super protected, man.
Yeah, they're super protected, 100%. Let me read out some of the comments. Big up Falak in the buildings. Said, OMG, am I late again? Hi, gentlemen. Big up Falak always. Who's trying to look cute for girls? We're talking about Sancho. We might be capping. We might be capping. You know?
Oh no, I was gonna say Sancho, but you know what
yes, we're better than Chelsea, and Rash stopped hating. Oh, I don't even think Rash was hating. Rash said United played better.
Speaking of Rash, Rashford, like what we said, is he? He's not done, like we all said before. He's looking like I'm here to stop the haters kind of thing. Like he didn't get a goal the other day as well, but he was active now. Yeah, but he is kind of cute though. Who
must be talking about me.
But yeah, man. Nah, listen. In fact, you know what? Before we go on to Arsenal quickly, we didn't speak last week because it was a midweek game about the strop from CR7 walking down, 89th minute at 2-0. He knew the game was over. Decided, let me make a show to everyone that I'm pissed off. What do we make of that whole fiasco?
I mean,
who's going first?
I don't mind hitting this one first, and then you guys can either agree or disagree. But I think both were warranted in terms of the disappointment from CR7 and Ten Hag tried to bring him on to see out the game. He probably thinks he's levels above that. I mean, I don't know what that does for personnel to other people. Like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we know you're a superstar. We know you're the best, but you're not there anymore. But you don't even want to come on with me, do you know what I mean? I see that as warranted because I always say this, like, if someone doesn't fit into your plan as a manager and you know where everyone's best suited and best fit for it, then yeah, fucking, you can't. Yeah, I agree with Draft. Got everyone in chat. You can't really you can't have favourites, and you go to a plan. Ten Hag. This is why I like Ten Hag as a manager. This is why I'm quite worried that United will get back to where they need to get back very quickly. I don't give a shit about who you are. I play the best team to win the best games in the best positions, right? And if you don't like it, it's not your. I mean, it is what it is. Now I see where CR7 is coming from. Man, like Ronaldo, he wanted to leave. He wanted to leave for game time. He knew he wasn't going to get games here. But for some reason, I don't think it was Ten Hag. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But the club decided to keep him. Now, if you're going to be kept, he's thinking, cool, you're going to keep me. I want to be played. New manager comes in now. I don't fancy you, but I will bring you. You will be the main person for our
the bench, Europa League,
Europa League, and you'll be coming off the bench here and there. That you're probably my third striker at the moment behind Martial and Rashford. If I had a choice, There's a number of times, like, obviously they're going to see out the game, and then he goes, nah, F that. I ain't coming on. It's kind of disrespectful, personally, from a manager's point of view. I mean, fuck it. It is what it is. Let me bring on other people to see out the game. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a bit crazy. But then, again, I see where CR7 is coming from. You told me to stay. You know that I can go to another team and I can get game time non-stop. But you stopped that. So that's my take on it, man. But I'm more on Ten Hag's side. I'll be honest with you.
I think definitely, like, no matter how much you love Ronaldo, I just think for him, there's a big lack of like self-awareness of where he's at this point of his career. And I just think if he really wants to leave in January, which he probably will, all he had to do was wait one more month. Just sit tight. Don't say nothing. Don't act up. Just for once, prove to everyone who's always said you're me first guy, prove them wrong and just hold out for 1 month. But to then obviously to refuse to sub is bad enough, but to then walk off slowly as well. It's not like he just walked off straight down the tunnel. Man was fully walking off and looking at the pitch like he was actually interested in what was going on in the game before he then went down the tunnel. Clearly adding as much time as possible so people could pay their attention on him because he knows that what that would do.
Yeah.
I think it's a shame because he's a United legend, but I think he's tarnished his legacy for quite a few fans. I think that's just so stupid what he did, and it's peak. I don't think you can defend that personally.
Well, my view on it is, did you see how Newcastle did at that toilet seat stadium and how amazing they did against the shit boys? Well done, Newcastle, for getting back into the top 4, beating the Pooh Bandits up in the shit stadium down at Shite Hart Lane. Well done, lads. Yeah, that's just a quick shout out.
What is that stadium called now?
It's called the Tottenham Stadium. So it's the toilet seat stadium. Yeah. My son in the same game was like, "Oh, who's the castle?" And I was like, "Oh, that's Newcastle." It's like, "Who's the chicken?" I was like, "Yeah, you know." It just fit well together.
They do. Big up Emmanuel in the building. Hope you're blessed, bro. Saying team before players, no more play FC as a United fan, 100%. Big up TJ Mack in the building saying yes, man, and hope everyone's well. All good here, man. Hope you're blessed too, broski. Like saying I feel bad for him though. Not gonna lie, not gonna defend him walking out. Yeah, I didn't even know if I feel bad for him. Like you're
twofold, man. Like, to me, it's literally twofold. Like a little, I wouldn't say feel bad, but it's twofold. Like as a player, you can say it's petulant. Like why would you walk off? Then he's not just a footballer, innit? He's a brand. So if I'm not playing, you're asking me to come on 88th minute, he might feel that making that scene might get him his exit he wants. So whilst it's petty and whatnot, if he ends up getting the exit he wants, then I respectfully do I care about my Manchester United legacy, but I'm still regarded as one of the best footballers ever, regardless of how you feel about me. My accomplishments speak for themselves. So the upside in me walking off the pitch might be greater because I might get my move. So whilst like Ten Hag is doing what he's doing for his brand and for Man United, and Ronaldo is doing what he has to do for his brand, that's how I look at it. Like aside from just the football thing of you shouldn't walk off. Yeah, you're right, you shouldn't. But both parties are making the right decision. Like you saw Ten Hag afterwards when they asked him questions, he's like, "Listen, we'll deal with that in the morning," and he dealt with it in the morning. I respect that. That's a man. Like
Ten Hag, big up Ten Hag. You know,
he could have slaughtered him, innit? He could have slaughtered him, but he kept it.
No need.
Ten Hag.
No need to slaughter him.
No need. To be fair, he slaughtered him with a little bit. He said, "I'll do it tomorrow," just like he's just any other player who did it. That's
sometimes a couple words are worth 1,000, man. You don't need to go on a big rant. Like, so he said with those few words that we ain't going for that. Like you can't.
You're just another guy.
Yeah, but then I guess about what Rash was saying about the feeling sorry, I get it to a degree because in 20 years later, like I know even a year later, last season he was like their talisman towards the end of the season, and now you're not playing. But at 37, 38, like you shouldn't be playing every game anyway. Like you just shouldn't. So yeah, I get that bit to a degree where it's just like, all right, like it's a steep drop, but at the same time, man, like you are probably third choice in a Premier League game. Like so far this season, in 11 games played, how many times has he started? I don't recall too many. Once or twice, sorry.
Yeah, maybe 3 times max.
Yeah, like Europa League, like when he plays, like he looks like because I don't think he had a preseason, right?
No, he didn't.
You can't even afford that at 37. Like because
exactly.
It's like towards the end of the last season, his goal scoring form was still there. Like even if his general play isn't what it is and what it was, because he's 37. Like it's not gonna be the same. But like now, when you lose a preseason and now you think you're gonna get back to what you were at, it's gonna be tough, my guy.
Yeah, it's like he came back thinking he was still 26 and he could just pick it up where he left off. But he's got to accept where he is right now, man. But let's finish it up with the Arsenal game, man. Obviously, drawing 1-1 to Southampton. What did you, man, make of the game?
Can I just have one more comment before we move on about the Man United? We were saying that, you know, it's kind of set up a platform for him to leave, you know what I mean, and got enough media attention that can probably set up his little move in January. But at the same time, then why apologize? Do you know what I mean? Straight afterwards, put out a big statement. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have acted this way. I'll get frustrated. United, I'll make sure I'll be a good example. Showed up at 8 o'clock the next day.
That's for the fans.
Damage control.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to say. But acknowledging there's a difference, because you can do things for the fans without acknowledging that you are the guy who is the problem. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But he kind of to me, the statement that he put out was kind of, he realized he's gone too far and he's now trying to rub the manager up the right way.
Yeah.
Do you think that was a impulse decision though? Like if I'm standing there, that's a long walk, by the way. Like that's not a short walk. You walked, you stopped, you looked at the game, you walked, you stopped, you looked at the game.
You know what it is? You know what it is?
He left the stadium.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's all thought out. Like it's not that impulse where you'd now be like, it's now a thing where it's like, oh, I just made that decision on the fly, because you could have turned around at any moment. Like you wanted that to happen, so that's why it was intended.
At the same time, you can be that angry. I mean, let's just say we don't know, but what if there was a conversation between him and Hogg before the game? Don't worry, making sure that you'll get yourself 40 minutes today, and then 2 minutes before the game, he's saying, "Yeah, warm up." Is that not done that, bro? Forget you. And out of anger, done that. I've seen a lot of footballers do that. Walk off the pitch. He shouldn't do that because he is Ronaldo. But at the same time, he is human as well. He has a reputation, he has a brand, and he has a love for football as well. The whole thing about him not having a preseason is very, very important, because he didn't have the preseason. So what is important for him right now, someone of his age, is game time, game minutes. He needs to get himself to a certain standard, but being the age he is, he can't get that with inconsistent minutes. It's not going to happen. Trust me, like I know when you reach certain ages that you just can't do certain things no more. When we was playing football, if I didn't come football every week and I try to come this every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks thing, man, I'm crap for a good half a year. And then it's the back end of the year, I might turn up, they're like, well, Rush, you got good. I'm like, my body woke up. Because I've had 2 weeks together. Do you know what I'm saying? So back to back. So it's very important. It's very important that he gets the game time, which he's not. And he, being so self-obsessed, he knows what it's going to take for him to perform. He can see himself on the decline. He goes to the gym, he plays football, he can see himself deteriorating. He knows, you know what I'm trying to say? And he's thinking, I need this. It's like a drug. And you're not getting your drug. When you don't get your drug, you're going to throw your battles out the pram, you're going to storm off, and then go apologize to the dealer later and say, no, I'm sorry about that. Can you come check me out? Do you know what I'm trying to say? That's what it is. That's what I think it is with Ronaldo. It's sad. It's a sad story, because at the same time, I don't think it's going to ruin his legacy, because he can't ruin his legacy. He's Ronaldo, yeah. But what I do think it has done is just put a downer on his potential retirement.
Yeah. Is this a rash or something?
Yeah, that's it. You hold your head in shame. Let me strip you naked and give you a bell. Shame. Shame.
Man. But yeah, let's rewind back to the Arsenal game, man. Let's rewind back to the Arsenal game, because obviously we saw Ed's comment at the beginning saying Jesus is showing his true colors. I know, Jalil, a few weeks ago you expressed some concerns about Jesus, about his finishing and stuff, and you got some stick for it. But lately that finishing has been still pretty inconsistent, and you could argue yesterday if he was more clinical, Arsenal win the game convincingly. and we don't drop 2 points. That could be crucial at the end of the season. So, where are you at with like like 5 goals and 11? I think he has. So, where are you at with him right now, and just the team in general? Because obviously you're not going to win every game. So,
yeah, I mean, yeah. I did say a couple of weeks ago, I believe it might have been before the United game. I might have said something along the lines of Jesus is Lacazette, but with vibes. I said that, and but I didn't say that specifically. I said I don't want that to happen, and right now that's what I'm getting, because it's a battle at the moment with not just watching football, but with other fans, and they're saying, "Oh, but how come you're not getting onto him? You like when Lacazette was playing like this and doing all of this, or hold up playing this, like Lacazette has got this." I'm like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, man, but you can't tell that Jesus is just that bit better than some of the things he's doing, and then that's kind of where I came up with. I don't want him to be Lacazette with vibes. I want Jesus to get numbers, and I said I shouldn't be criticised as an Arsenal fan wanting my number 9 to get double figures by the end of the season. I don't think I should be criticised for that, and I did from Arsenal fans as well. So I guess it's one of those ones, man. It's a difficult one. Am I happy with him? I'm happy with him, man. I see him getting double figures. Don't get me wrong. All these chances that he had, I will say the majority of them he should be putting away as a top striker. Haaland will put them away. I think Ronaldo will put them away. I think even you've got your Martials and a few other players that will be putting them away. Just better decisions. But whereas the way he plays, he's never not in a battle. He's always in a battle with someone. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it's never going to be that easy to finish. He's never going to have 5 minutes to just do that. Do you know what I'm saying? He's got like literally half a second. So I'm not blaming him, bruv. He's going to get more opportunities, man. I'm not going to do that. But I think we should touch on Tierney. I wanted to speak about this for a while. And it became the topic of conversation before the game and after the game. But it wasn't introduced by Arsenal fans. It was actually introduced by other fans trying to get onto us and make us feel bad about stuff. I say that to say this: if it's not broke, don't fix it. Have we been winning, as you know, since the Liverpool game when Tomiyasu came in and played left back? I'm pretty sure we won. I know we had a few other games and obviously it was 1-0 and that. But there was nothing wrong with that, how we were playing in terms of defending and everything, and everything, those lines. So for everyone to be like, oh, Tierney, Kieran Tierney must be pissed. He must be upset. He's going to get left out. He's going to get sold. It's all speculations. He's still a full part of this Arsenal team. No Arsenal fan wants him gone. We came on number 9. He actually done pretty decent, to be fair. I mean, could have done better in certain decision makings, but we know that's Kieran Tierney. You know what I'm saying? He's not dead, and we don't think. I mean, I don't think he's sitting there thinking, "Sure, I'm third choice." Yeah, he might be third choice right now. It doesn't mean next time you can't be second choice. You just got to get game time. At the moment, Zinchenko's out at the moment. Tomiyasu, I mean, Saliba and Jesus is both on 4 yellow cards. And I'm not going to lie to you. I was expecting Jesus to get a yellow card last night because I don't mind missing him out for the Nottingham Forest game. But there's bigger games coming up. Do you get what I'm saying? So I would have loved them to take a yellow.
That would have been the game to miss.
Well, trust me. I said I wouldn't mind taking yellow. Maybe put Martial, put Eddie up there. We move, man. We'll definitely whatever. But I would have preferred to take a yellow there. Saliba as well. So what I can see happening, maybe at that game, is Saliba not playing, then White going back and centre back with Gabriel, Tomiyasu going on the right, and then Kieran Tierney going on the left. I see that.
Saliba gets a yellow.
Gabriel on 4 yellows as well.
I think it's Saliba. Gabriel's on 3, I think. Double check that though. I might be wrong.
Well, whoever it is, if they get a yellow next game, then they miss Chelsea away, innit?
And we need him. So I'm thinking, let him get a yellow at Chelsea away, then we'll deal with it. But Chelsea away is very difficult for Arsenal. It's been proven to be difficult for us for a long time. I'm not going to sit here and say that. So I'm going to say that it's too late now. I'd rather Saliba come and maybe... Man, I don't know. You should play Saliba for the whole thing. He should just be... I mean, he's still young, but I feel like he'll be disciplined enough to see out the Nottingham Forest game about getting a yellow. Gabriel's the one I'm worried about because he's so aggressive and he battles everyone and he pretty much wins his battles. But as referees see it, it's a yellow. You're too aggressive. Do you know what I mean? And that's what's been happening. He tracks back and does the business. And that's what I've been saying quite recently. He's been actually doing the Granit Xhaka role recently. And Xhaka's been doing the more Jesus role. Have you seen how deep Jesus comes in to pick up the ball? And Xhaka's always the last man there. Do you know what I mean? That's why he gets his goals. And that's how he's been getting his goals. But maybe it's a game plan that Arteta's put into it. Or maybe Jay's just getting frustrated. He's going to come and collect the ball more often. And Jack is just like, oh, join my place. Let me go into your position. But yeah, I know. 1-1. I mean, what can you say about it, really? I would have loved to take the 3 points. I had us winning, I think, 3-0 away from home. I predicted or 2-0, maybe 2-0, 3-0. I didn't see us conceding. It was a good goal from them. They split again. Our defense got split. I don't know why he just ran across 2 defenders and then tapped it in. Very good move from Southampton. We've got to give them credit where it's due. But for some reason, we've got a bad playing style there for some reason. I don't understand why we can't really
hold the ground.
I think. Yeah, I believe last season, if I'm not mistaken, we lost.
Yep.
Might be. Yeah. Yeah, see what I'm saying?
I think that was one of the 3 that we wanted to win.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, see. So, I mean, it hurt. Don't get me wrong, it hurt. But there was so many chances that we could have put away, man. I thought the whole team played well. I know we're going to get into them individually in the ratings, but, Odegaard and Partey and Xhaka really stood out for me again, really controlling that midfield. Partey, I just say, if Partey goes, it's a huge downgrade. Odegaard, what a player, man. The way he moves and everything. I ain't going to compare him to anyone. I see a lot of people comparing him since that game and that. I'm not going to get into it unless we need to touch into it. But he's going to be, he's what, 23? He's going to be world class. He's going to be world class. If it's not at Arsenal, if he goes back to Real Madrid or anywhere else, he's going to do the business, man. He's a quality player, man. Quality player. But I guess I'll touch on the rest of the players in the player ratings. I don't want to say too much. Leave the floor open to you boys as well, man.
You know what, Jay? Yeah, like you mentioned some good things about the aggression of Gabriel and stuff like that, and even that being a little bit of a worry. But it's weird to deem what even is aggressive this season because, yeah, we know Gabriel. He does do a bit of a rash decision, excuse the pun. Do you know what I mean? Every now and again, but the defense of Southampton were wrestlers.
Oh yeah,
Arsenal's forwards.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that was, bruv, it was ridiculous.
That right back is on crud, bro.
On smoke, yeah.
Smoke.
Jesus had better fights, yeah, with that back line. Saka got booked for not being strong enough, yeah, for getting dashed over by my man, and then because he got dashed over so hard, yeah, it looked fake. It was ridiculous. It just wasn't a yellow. And this is what I don't understand with referees. People can fall over in a game of football and it not be a foul and them not be diving. Yeah.
Ben White did the same thing. Remember, Ben White fell down exactly the same as Saka.
You can just lose your balance as you're running. A little touch and he. Oh.
And little nudges in certain parts of the body when you're moving by. Like my favorite one was I used to run past the player and I'd slightly just drag his arm as I'm running past. And I'll go spinning like a sprinter. Yeah. Little one. My man's going, whoa. Do you know what I mean? It happens, but it's like referees, because they've never played the game, they don't know about these type of things. Do you know what I mean? And they're making stupid decisions. And then they got to overcompensate it by letting a lot go. Yeah, I saw elbows. Jesus got 2 elbows to the chest. Yeah, off the ball. Yeah, and nothing was even done. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring up that, and also I wanted to bring up the whole Tierney Tomiyasu conversation, which a lot of people are talking about, and Tierney must be dead. First of all, I just want to say I blame Jalil for this conversation in the first place, anyway. Yeah, for killing Tierney over the years. Do you know what I mean? But you was rightfully because he was injury prone. Now, what it looked like and what it looks like is that Arteta has seen the injury that Tierney has had over the summer and wants to ease him back in regardless. Yeah. So when Zinchenko was fit, it doesn't matter if Tierney's fit. You're not coming on until the 65th minute has gone past. That's when you're coming on, 65 onwards, because we don't want to blow out your injury again and have it come back and we lose you for long periods of time. You're on the books, losing money. We're not getting the value for you. Let's ease you in. Just because Zinchenko is injured doesn't mean that plan has to shift. Okay, so they've seen Tomiyasu put in a good performance out on that side. If they can keep the same plan of easing Tierney back into full-time football to be a starter, then they're going to continue it, because at the same time, just because Zinchenko's injured doesn't mean Tierney's injuries has changed or his development has changed or his recovery has changed. they still need to try and take it slow. They had a plan. They're sticking to it. Tommy can do a job there. Ben White can do a job on the other side. Why not do that in order to protect the players still?
Rash, just to touch in on that as well, because that's a very fucking good point there. What if we see it that he's injury prone? What the fuck, you think Mikel's not seeing it and easing him back in or protecting him? Now, why is it a negative thing that he's not playing every game? So what? He's to play him, get injured, and then he gets criticised for it.
Arteta could even be like, I can't rely on you anymore.
Because you're injury prone. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, because you're injured. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
There's
people are crazy. How could you say Tierney's finished in that?
People love Tierney, though. People love Tierney. Like, remember, people saying he should be captain and everything. Like, Tierney's one of the most loved players.
Yeah, he should never be captain, though. I don't know. That captain choke needs to just die. I don't understand why he should be captain, because he's never showed no captain qualities. Odegaard, I can see why. Xhaka, I can see why. Even Holden, I can see why. Tierney said he doesn't even like speaking in front of big people, big groups. He said it in the all or nothing things. I'm like, why do you think he should be captain? He's no captain qualities.
Isn't it? He wears short sleeve shirts and he tucks his shirt in.
With a Tesco's bag. Chill out, man.
He loves playing in the snow.
Yeah,
great attitude.
Everyone's wearing Jackie B's and he's got the short. He's got the short sleeves and the shorts, and everyone's like, "Clark, you're hard."
It's not even to kill him, because we all rate. I think we all rate him as a player. It's just injury.
Yeah.
So
100.
yeah,
but
yeah.
Sorry to jump into what I know you normally would.
No.
To us anyway, John.
Yeah, no, those were all great points. I think just before we get onto the player ratings, quick, just Jeff, any final thoughts on the Arsenal game? I mean, we've spoken about Jesus and the Tierney situation. Anything else that stood out for you?
I think the boys touched on most of it. Probably just a little bit tired, man. Some of those players looked like, even towards the end of the game, you see Partey giving the ball away a little bit, just like cheaply. So yeah, even like Saka looked a little bit tired towards the end before he didn't come off, but he just looked a bit tired. And Jesus. So even like the Jesus thing, I know people say like he drops too deep, but he had 4 clear chances. So this, I think, is a big misconception of Xhaka as like the striker and Jesus is a midfielder, because how would you have 4 clear chances?
Yeah,
like we're seeing what you see in a 90-minute game, and you see little instances of him too deep. Is different to hit. That's his actual focus. Like, because if you had the one where he probably should have cut up El Hanusi or whatever, he should have gone back across onto his right. Yeah, and he looked like he just ran out of steam. And then there was one where he turned that Brock Lesnar wannabe.
He showed his left, right?
Yeah, the Brock Lesnar guy, man, like him. And then there was a few others where like.
The Odegaard one where Odegaard flicked it up for him.
That was, first of all, that pass was out of pocket.
Ridiculous.
Crazy.
Yeah, that one is the one where, to me, that should have been a goal. That's
he hit
that's a clear goal. No, like you hit it right, but it's straight at the keeper.
He did.
But he
did and he didn't hit it.
It was kind of scuffed. It was kind of scuffed.
No, but those are the ones which are probably better. Like, I reckon, you hit it into a ground, you just need to hit a corner. That's it.
Yeah, but see me, I reckon he should have. That one was perfect for him to hit in the far corner. That was for me. He went for the near post.
Lace to the far corner.
Yeah. He went for the near post, but the bouncing one, which is good. It was an attacking volley, which is good. But at the same time, he scuffed it as well. You just want it to be a little bit better.
The scuff is always better to me. Like when you hit it too flush, a lot of the time it doesn't go in.
Yeah,
so
but this time it didn't.
I just think you should, just because you didn't hit a corner. That's all. Like if you don't hit it straight at the keeper, that's in. But the 4 clear chances suggest that you're in your right position more than you're not. Because how else have you had 4 clear chances? Like how else have you? It said he's missed 8, what they call big chances this season. So that seems so if you've missed 8 big chances, which is probably one of the highest in the league in the terms of like your conversion,
probably Nunes is probably up there.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, like if it's 8, then that speaks to you're in your right position a lot of the time. You're just not finishing your dinner enough.
Right, which is the main conversation here, and the fear of him being a Lacazette number 2. But I wouldn't even say that, because he does Lacazette's role, what Lacazette did, but twice as better. and he's popping up in the positions that Lacazette wasn't popping up in.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the problem.
It's just a
Lacazette wasn't
problem
even
with
getting
his.
passes.
Yeah, it was just a problem with him finishing his dinner, Elijah. So
Yeah, and even like not to defend it, but if you watch Jesus, he's always been like this, so
Yes.
it's not a surprise. Like,
Which is why that was my one thing with Jesus. I was always worried.
But we create, like yesterday we created 12 chances at Cantor, so you can still hit 16, 17 goals comfortably whilst missing 80 chances.
That's
not
true.
to make it right, but you can still score, and then you've got your Martinellis and Saka who can also chip in. So like when people say he's the new Lacazette, like Lacazette scored 2 last season. 2. So
wait, Lacazette scored 2 goals all season.
No. I think it was 4 or something like that, man.
I don't think it was 2, but it wasn't more than 4.
Because I remember when
it might as well
be. He scored more than Lacazette did all season.
I can check.
It might as well be 2. I don't remember any goals Lacazette scored. Oh wait,
I do remember one.
The Palace one, the draw.
Yeah,
when
he went crazy.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
3. Oh no, 4. Yeah, you're right. 30 appearances, 4 goals.
There you go. See, I do.
So he's already beaten it.
He's already beaten it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that thing. Like, don't get me wrong, he needs to be more clinical, especially like with clear-cut ones, especially like that Odegaard chip one. That should be easy.
He needs one soon though, don't he? Before it settles in the thought process of him thinking,
probably just to shut people up.
I ain't scored a minute before it starts getting to him, because he probably knows the people are saying something, just not loud enough right now, but they're saying something. But it's a problem when it gets to the actual player themselves and saying, "Well, I'm not banging in goals." Then it becomes like a black cloud over their performances all the time because they're making too much efforts. I think there was a lot of times that he was trying too hard. A lot, the things that he could have done a lot simpler, and they would have gone in. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's just about putting it just either side of the goalkeeper. It doesn't have to be fantastic, but just pass it past the keeper. Do you know what I mean? But like you don't always have to hit things with your laces, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's just
100% agree. Let's move on to player rating before Falak saying, but at least those 30 appearances were a blessing to the eyes. Hey, you know what I mean?
She's
got a thing for Lacazette.
Big up Lacazette, innit? Big up Lacazette, man. Jeez. Hey, okay, quick player ratings.
Ramsdale. The goal went really fault. That was I'm not gonna lie. We got to give some credit to Southampton. That move was quite nice. But he should have run across both centre backs like that and not been tracked. So he conceded. He's gonna have to just get above average. His distribution was quite decent. Stopped a few goals. He can hold a 6, I think. Fair. 1-1's quite disappointing. Yeah, maybe I don't know if the boys want to give him a bit more, but big up Balak in the building, though, man.
Active listening going on.
Hey, Balak's a real one. You're a real one. I can't lie to you, bro.
Yeah. Balak's been supporting us, man. Big up Balak. All right, Jeff. Ben White.
Probably about a 6. All in all, nice assist for the goal. Did really well.
Beautiful assist.
Second half was probably a tougher game. All in all, Southampton. Well, after we scored, but at the 35th minute they changed their formation, so there was a lot more pressure on his side and whatnot. But yeah, I'll say 6.
Okay. Rash Saliba.
I'll give Saliba. I don't feel like I'm being harsh. I'll give him a 6 out of 10 as well. Certain things are creeping into his play to me that it's not worrying, but certain things he just needs to keep aware of and notice that if I'm noticing it, his opponents are noticing it, and they're gonna figure it out that's how to do him. So yeah, just a little things, but yeah, I just think it wasn't one of his better games. Second half, the way the Arsenal team just looked exhausted, you can tell the game numbers are playing up. They just couldn't up the gear. Yeah, man. But yeah, 6. If everyone agrees, 6 will be for me.
6 is fair. Joe?
I might have give Gabriel and Saliba 5, just average. I don't know if they deserve above average. That goal just made me upset, man. And when I win it, I kind of wanted. I was looking for offside. I was looking for every excuse under the book because
it looked too easy.
It looked way too easy. I just didn't like it. I just got really upset about it. So they didn't play dead. It's just that split again. I just hate seeing it, bro. And
that's been Arsenal's goals that they've conceded this season, Gillo. It's been literally the same way all the time. They're just not aware of the ball coming in. They think the other one's got it or something like that. They haven't cut their shoulder.
It's true.
That is
true.
All of Arsenal's goals have been conceded that way.
That is true, yeah. So anyway, you had Gabriel next anyway, Judo. So a 5 is
came across. I think the communication was lost there from I don't know who that was, but goal was cold. Let's just get this right though. That ball and that goal was cold, but I just don't like
too easy.
I just don't like to. Me personally, I just don't like to see that kind of goal against Arsenal. If it's a banger or something, or if it's something that's a scramble in the box and everyone's going for it, at least you tried. But it's just the way it just happened. It's just I didn't like it, man. 100%. So yeah, 5, man.
Jeff Tomiyasu.
I think he was probably the better one out of the defense. Probably go with either 6.5 or 7. I'm not sure which one I'd give. Yeah, solid. I think he's
could get. He
can. I ain't fussed.
He did have to go on to the other side as well later on. And
that's what I was gonna say.
Well. Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Partey Rash.
Partey, I'll give a 7. I think he had a good game. I think without him there, second half we would have been in more trouble than we actually were. A lot of people don't clock that a lot of the moves start with Partey right at the beginning. He just seems to have a lot of time. Even when you're looking at the screen, you're like, man on! He moves like he's got a lot of time and he seems to be able to put the ball on. So I think it was an alright performance. He was one of Arsenal's better players on the day.
Yeah, 100%. Jalil Xhaka.
Just based on his form, he's going to have to hold at 8. You have to hold at 8. He's probably our best player. Getting into the box and scoring a goal in your week of 4, that's a bit ridiculous, man.
That goal was well taken. What a goal.
It was cold. Well, yeah, I mean...
Full finishes, half volley. Big him up.
It's not... We all know half volleys, bro. And any pitch, it's not easy. He took it very well, man. That should have... Realistically, let's be real. That's meant to go over the bar. Or scuffed. But that was too clean. He went straight past the kid. He didn't really know. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, Xhaka, I'm very happy with him at the moment, man. Very happy with him. I'm even saying that as well. I don't know if, God forbid bad thing, but if he gets injured, whoever comes in hit that position, I don't know who would. Probably Vieira, to be fair, playing that on that left. But I think anybody comes in will be a bit of a downgrade on how he's been performing and the kind of form he's been in at the moment. So, can't knock him. It's weird. It's weird that I don't have to defend the kid anymore. I used to defend him last year, man. It's weird that I don't have to defend him.
He's playing.
It is that rule that if he was to get injured, it would take probably 100% an Odegaard to fill his role, and then Vieira to fill in his role instead.
And they wouldn't even be able to do it.
He wouldn't be able to do it, but it would need someone with that kind of. It's mad that I'm saying this, but it's going to need someone with intelligence to play that role. Yeah, and Odegaard has got the intelligence on the pitch. I don't know what Xhaka's done to us still. Yeah,
big him up, man. He's playing right now. Yeah, I think he's playing brilliantly right now. Not even right now, this season to be honest. So big him up, man. Jeff Odegaard.
But I'll say 6.5. Playing that's normal Odegaard performance, neat, nice, good on the ball. Probably should have had a goal with that chance in the first and an assist. Definitely should have had the assist. But yeah, that shot in the first 5 minutes. That's probably the only thing he needs to add is just the goals and when to shoot and when to pass. Sometimes you might pick a weird moment to pass, and then vice versa. It's very reminiscent of like Ozil, man. Like where they like the assist more than the goal.
was gonna say that. It's like they just want to get their assist more than a goal, more than anything, because they get more joy out of that. It's like a defender getting a tackle rather than scoring the last goal kind of thing. But yeah, I agree with Jeff, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Rash, Saka.
Saka, I think he had an all right game. First half, I think he was really dangerous, and second half, I think he had an all right game, especially the fact that he was under a bit of pressure. So I think he's one of Arsenal's better players. I'll give him an 8.
Okay. I think I might have given him a 7. I don't know about 8, but yeah, I thought he was all right. To be fair, so I did think he was all right. He doesn't really lose the ball that much, so that's why he's always reliable in possession as well.
Unless you keep punching him up and fouling him every 5 minutes, which is what he got. He didn't really get a chance, did he? He got manhandled quite a bit, so
he wasn't.
That's one of the reasons why I give him that, because he had a hard time and those defenders was really on him, and he had the referee against him. The linesman wasn't giving him shit as well. So
he kept looking at the linesman like, did you not just see that kind of thing? Do you know what I mean? Get on with it.
And even his little flick to Ben White in order to set up the cross that scored the goal. That
was a nice flick.
Intelligent play.
Tidy.
We've got really good link-up play, those two.
Yeah,
their link up on our right hand side is nice. That's why I was kind of disappointed that Ben White was taken off, because when he goes off, we miss something in possession. He's actually quite key to our build-up play. So,
that goes towards why Tomiyasu is quite vital. I mean, if you're normally you'll take off Tomiyasu and bring, because Tierney needs to come on to make sure that left side up, but he decided to take White off and bring on Tomiyasu, maybe because they were on us so tough that we needed the less attack coming from the wings. From the right backs, full backs, let Saka and Martinelli. I was quite a bit surprised Martinelli came up. I know we're going to touch on that, but I think that's why Tomiyasu stayed on, because he's more assured.
Yeah. Speaking of Martinelli, what would you give him?
5.
He was running it. Yeah, I think I'm with Rash with that one. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was doing the normal things he always does, running. He couldn't get touched, man. His footwork was beautiful, man. You know. End product was a bit weak, unfortunately, and a lot of people were questioning, "Oh, why did you take off Martinelli?" I kind of can see it. It was getting clamped. It was gonna get injured, and we kind of need him for this Chelsea game. I'll be honest, we don't need him for the PSV game we got, I believe on Thursday. But I think we need Martinelli. He's got a good record against Chelsea. I think we need him 100%. So taking him off early was quite a good idea from Arteta.
Okay. And then last one, Jesus, Jeff. Oh shit, we lost Jeff at that exact moment. So Rash, go on, do Jesus.
I think Jesus had he had a good game as well. Put himself about. He got himself in a lot of good areas. Had a chance. He just needs to finish them, man. He just needs to finish his dinner. I was getting well frustrated with him because I was thinking, you scored harder goals than this, man. Like,
exactly.
This is easy for you. Yeah.
Exactly.
So but he works hard. He's always dangerous as well. That was quick. That was good. That was quick. At the same time, we need you to produce more. You need to be either getting assists or getting a goal when you're in those positions, and you haven't. So I've got to give you about 6.5, 7.
Yeah, 6.5 I think is fair, because obviously you do have to be penalised a bit for not scoring the chances in it. So he did overall. His game was not bad, just clinical.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know if Jeff is going to come back on. I guess he's having a connection issue, but we're going to wrap it up with a man and fool of the weekend. Jalil, who's your man of the weekend and who's your fool of the weekend?
Damn, I should have wrote this down. I was thinking about it and I was like, I need to have someone, but let me. Man of the weekend has got to go to my brother, my Nigerian brother. Plays for Nottingham Forest. Scored a winner. So I give it to the team or just him? Even the manager deserves it, to be fair. But he can hold that.
Okay.
Ford. That could be a team effort. We can give it to Klopp and his team. I think Liverpool deserve it because Nottingham. Let's be real. should Nottingham Forest be beating Liverpool by any means necessary, regardless of the injury crisis?
Nah.
By any means necessary.
Nah. You know,
No.
any circumstances.
Let's have it right. Never should be happening. Never.
Nah.
So they can hold that for me. Sorry, that's what I got from the dome. I should have wrote it down, but that's what I got at the
No
moment.
worries. Okay, so you've got a 1-year for Man of the Weekend and then Liverpool for frauds.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Rash.
So the people I'm gonna give as what do we call it? Why do I always forget what we
Man
call
of the
it?
Weekend.
The man. So the man is
Man of
a
the
team.
Weekend.
Yeah, the man is a team. I'm gonna give it to Aston Villa. They got rid of Gerrard and they banged goals. Like goals. Would they win 4-0 or something like that? In the end, do you know what I mean? They scored like the first 2 or 3 goals in like 14 minutes or something like that.
Yeah,
They just played.
15,
Yeah, they played really well, and it's always easy when you lose a manager to kind of use that as a reason to hide and not perform. You know what I mean? But they've come out, they got the new manager bump. You know what I mean? And they got a victory, and they showed that Gerard's a dinosaur with his tactics. You can't be playing that dinosaur football in the Prem today. You got to be a real tactician, and I think they just felt a little bit free. They looked free. So well done to Aston Villa. And the frauds. I mean, it's easy to go with the obvious and give it to Paul because you know what I mean. But I don't want to take away too much from Nottingham Forest because
Spurs lost.
It has to be Spurs. Yeah. It has to be Spurs because they played terrible football. They made substitutions that was just defensive, even though they started off defensive. I'm just like, doubling down on this. Okay, do you know what I'm trying to say? And but yeah, man, Conte looks kind of out of ideas. Spurs look predictable. Their football is trash.
Horrible.
I was just very happy for Newcastle, to be honest. That they did that to them, slapped them up at home. Done us a little bit of a favor as well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Spurs.
Say no more. And then Jeff, who's your man of the weekend and fraud of the weekend?
I got 2 teams, man. Team of the weekend or man of the weekend, whatever you want to call it. It's probably, or I'll give it to Fulham because they're 7th.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got that 3-2 win, didn't they?
Yeah.
So the fact that you're on 18 points and we're only on the third of the way through, you ain't got long to go to the magic 40. And Mitrovic seems to have found his Premier League shooting boots. He always violates Championship, but he always struggles in the Prem. So I think he's on like 6 or 7 already. I might be wrong, but
7 and 9.
7 and 9 is very, very good.
Very good.
That's a top striker record. So salute to them. And then fraud of the weekend are Wolves. Wolves have scored 5 goals. I'm dead serious.
Full stop.
5 goals.
Nothing more.
What this season?
Yeah, this season. Yeah.
Goals, bro.
No, I don't believe that.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah,
Told you Wolves are in trouble.
And then on top of that, they have 3 scorers. They have Daniel Podence. They have Neves. So you're almost certain it's a free kick.
Yeah.
And then you have Adama Traore. Those are their 3 scorers. Like, that speaks for itself because they spend a lot of money in the past like 4 or 5 years. For you to have no focal point as a striker, like I know Jimenez had his severe injury but you brought in Diego Costa, you brought in that Guedes guy, you've got the young boy, what's it, Fabio Silva.
Yep.
But that's all they only brought in those 2, isn't it?
That's too many to fail. You can't have those. You can't bring in a 36-year-old and then you bring in a young boy and then you bring in another young boy and it still don't work. Like, it's mad. Like 5 goals in 11. I put it this way: Jesus has scored 5. Wolves have scored 5.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And if people are onto the player, imagine what they are to the team.
So, and then 19th. So if they don't find a striker or someone who just suddenly, I don't know, man, take some superpowers, they could have some serious problems towards the end of the season if they don't fix up.
Bottom.
Trust me.
Actually join bottom.
Yeah. And shout out to Forest for winning and then being rooted to the bottom again. G's
yep. Up. Yeah, that's peak. That is peak. That is peak. Who am I giving my man of the weekend to? I might give it to Almiron, just because Almiron seems like a blessed brother. So I'll give it to him.
What's going on with him this season? Jeez.
Yeah, he's on fire, man. And also a shout out to Iwobi as well. I saw that assist he got for Everton, and he's been playing brilliantly the whole season in this midfield role. So he deserves a shout out as well.
So, told you we should have kept him, played him. No, fair. Let me chill.
The best business we ever did selling that guy, 40 mil.
Yeah, that was good value for money, man. I'm happy for him though. He's doing his thing, man. And then frauds, I'll probably give it to maybe Leeds because they started so well and now they're joint bottom as well.
Hey fam, I heard that they're screaming they want Bielsa back.
Boy, you see what I'm saying? They thought the grass was greener, innit? Now they're just playing dead football and still losing.
Playing American football.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they thought getting that guy, man, Jesse Marsh, but big up to him, man. He's funny still. But yeah, man, people, that's a wrap. It's been a great show. Big up everyone for all their engagement as always. It's been really good. I don't know if there's any midweek Prem games. I think it's Champions League this week. So
shout out to Arsenal women doing over PSG, bro.
Oh yeah, they played. Yeah.
Listen, we don't talk about it at all. I think we should start talking about it. Some of the women in the Women's Super League are actually brilliant players. And look, for a long time now, Beth Mead's been doing this thing for Arsenal. She needs a shout because she's actually an amazing player still.
Yeah. No, I've seen some of her highlights and stuff, and like she's a good player, man. She's a good player, like, and a lot of them are pretty technical. Obviously, athletically, they might not be on the same level as the men, but technically, some of them are really, really, really good. And yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because it's not really spoken about at all, to be honest.
Yeah,
so,
and I mess with women's football. I think it's really good.
It's good.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
It's definitely going to, especially over the last few years. I feel like it's gotten better and better, which is what you want to see. You always want to see improvements all the time. So, pick them up.
I'll give it a watch next time they play because I know they play quite regularly. So I'll give it a watch.
Yeah, they do play regularly. Yeah, man. But yeah, so well, I don't know what you're little smirking in it, but hey.
Yeah, his eyes are smirking first, yeah.
And the eyes are smiling.
Yeah. Like,
Hey, trying to get me cancelled. Chill. I said chill.
All right. Well, on that note, people, we're out. Smash the likes, subscribe to RBT, follow us on Instagram and TikTok and everything. And yeah, we'll be back. Hopefully, if not later this week, next week. So big up yourselves and have a great week. Peace out.
Salute.
Salam.
Peace.
Peace.